Converted man here. All right, let's take a look at cross-examined. Are you still waiting for absolute proof of God video? And already told them before, no, not absolute proof, just any proof or evidence, which you don't have. But here, not only are they not going to present proof or evidence or anything like that, they're also going to switch the burden of proof. Let's check it out.
You make a pretty good case, especially the fine-tune argument. I don't see a way around it. But there are some people like Lawrence Krauss, right, was his name, from the video, who would say, we don't have evidence of God, or in other words, we don't have absolute proof for God. What would you say to people who, like atheists, who would say the burden of proof lies with theists and not with atheists?
Well, I'm going to say that you're a plant and that there is no audience here. You can see the corner of a chair, but that's it. I don't see anyone else at all. And this is angled in a way that you can only see the wall. So I think you're a plant, and I think that you're reading from a script, and I don't think that this is legitimate, but it's made to be like as if this is a question being asked when the guy is on stage, meaning that they're being dishonest in their presentation. But yeah, other than that, you know, so what's your answer going to be, you dishonest charlatan?
Well, when he says absolute proof, I'd ask, what do you mean by absolute proof?
Did he say absolute proof? Let's go back a bit. Let's see.
We don't have absolute proof for God.
Oh, yeah, he did say that. But again, you know, so now we get the amazing audience of 3 people. Look at how many empty seats you have. You know, but why didn't you show those 3 people behind the kid? Maybe because, you know, that's the only audience members you have. So, like, let's see, one of those could be your dad. One is his dad, and one's, you know, a friend of somebody or whatever. Not that impressive there. But yeah, let's hear your answer.
100% certain. I'm not 100% certain that you exist. We could be in the Matrix, right?
No.
I mean, we could be. I mean, I don't think that's true, but it's possible we could be.
Not really. It's really not possible, because the sort of machine required to do that would, well, it'd be the size of a universe. I mean, why would you spend so much energy to create a simulation that is duplicating reality when you already have reality? So yeah, you know, we could be this, we could be that. Yeah, that's nice. No, we're not though. So get to the answer of the question.
Be in the Matrix. So I'm not looking for 100% certainty. I'm looking for certainty beyond a reasonable doubt. And let me give you an analogy of this. I know.
No. Don't give an analogy. Just answer the question. Answer the question.
Atheists are fond of saying, well, I just lack a belief in God, and you have all the burden of proof to say that God exists.
Well, you do.
I put up some evidence here earlier today that, okay, for example, the universe had a beginning, and it's...
You don't have evidence of that. You have a very bad argument of that, which we didn't see in this video, but I'm certain that it's a bad argument, because no scientist agrees with you on that point at all. Not a single one. Well, maybe the creationist scientists do, but of course they're paid to have that viewpoint, so they don't count. But yeah, not a legitimate cosmologist agrees with you. So, and you haven't written a peer-reviewed published paper that demonstrates that this is true. So, yeah, you got nothing. Keep going, though.
Fine-tune. I was about to talk about the...
Oh, yeah, the fine-tuning. Yes. Please do talk about how well-tuned the universe was during the T1 point when the universe was so hot and dense that hardly even, electrons could form. Took a while for it to cool down so that electrons could do that. And then, you got protons and neutrons and they're flying around, and then they form, and then finally, like a little bit later on, finally then electrons can form. So where's the fine tuning for life? Because it sure took the universe quite some time to get to the point where it could actually host life on a single planet, as far as we know. Where's all the life everywhere else? Oh, right. It's not there. Puddle analogy, counter, that's it. Weak anthropic principle, that's it. Anyways, you don't got to fine-tune universe. Life is tuned for the universe, not the other way around. So that's not evidence either.
Argument. Let's just take those three arguments. The argument that the universe had a beginning, the argument
we don't know that it did,
that it's fine-tuned and life is designed as well, and
no, it's not, and no, it's not.
The argument there are objective moral values.
The objective moral. Okay, so that means there's objective ethical values. Now, I've been reading through 613 commandments, all of which supposedly come from God, unless you're willing to admit that no, those commandments did not come from God. They came from flawed humans, and that's why those commandments suck bane, and not in a good way. It's not sweet bane in a jar either. It's just plain horrible tasting bane, and you don't want to suck it because you don't know where it's actually, you do know where it's been, and you definitely don't want to suck on it. And I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. But the point is, no, if you think that your morals are grounded in the commandments of God from the Bible, then your objective morals are kind of crummy, and a lot of them do not apply anymore. A lot of them don't apply to us. A lot of them you can't do. So they don't make a lot of sense, and they're not coherent anymore. So yeah, you got a problem there. But what you're aiming for is a objective ethical system, which then you could base your morals on, and your morals would still have to be flexible enough to navigate that system, because events change, and a static book can never update with the times sufficiently to cover all possible contingencies. The Bible says absolutely nothing about use of nuclear power or how we should utilize that. It really doesn't comment on narcotics or their use or abuse of, other than saying that everything is given for you to eat and use and whatever. It doesn't really say, much of anything. Okay, well, there's a couple passages not to be drunk or whatever, but nothing about hard narcotics. It doesn't tell you what to do about cyber problems, because none of that's there. So all of that's going to have to then be something that you come up with on your own, meaning that some of your morals, at least, will be subjective. And if they're subjective, so what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't change anything. If morals are subjective or objective, that's independent and separate from God existing. Because God could very well exist and morals could still be subjective. God could not exist and morals could be objective, depending on how we frame the idea of how we view morals. We can view it like a game of chess. Hey, you want to play chess? Yeah, sure. I love playing chess. Hey, humans invented chess. Oh, that makes the rules subjective. I guess anything goes. I'll just put my pawn here on top of your king. Checkmate. I win. No, that's not how the rules are. Oh, but it's subjective. We invented it, but we still follow those rules. So it's objective at that point. We all, you have the rules of Monopoly. Look, you put money under Go or under Free Party. That's the wrong way to play. because the game will never end. You want the game to end. The point of the game is to drain the person's bank account down to zero or to where they can't pay you so that you get all their stuff and you just keep winning more, and then nobody wants to play the game ever again. That's the point of Monopoly, is to make you not want to ever play it again. Anyways, what was I talking? Oh, right. But objectiveness can be from humans as well as God. So that's not an argument for God either. But you also didn't demonstrate that morals are indeed objective. So not an argument even there. What else you got?
These, to me, seem like they're evidence for a theistic God, a spaceless, timeless, immaterial, powerful, moral, personal, intelligent creator who created and sustains all things, right?
Wow, that's a ginormous leap from non-arguments. And to note, no evidence, no proof, no anything at all. Arguments aren't proof. You said absolute proof of God. You don't even have proof of God, let alone absolute. You don't have any evidence either. Bad arguments aren't evidence. Good arguments aren't evidence. If you had good arguments, at least I'd have something new to explore, but you don't. So
I'm giving that evidence.
No, you haven't.
Ask the atheist, if there is no God, how do you explain these things?
How do I explain things that aren't true? Well, I don't, since they're not true. You want me to explain the things as if they were true? I mean, I can't do that unless I'm using a hypothetical universe where they could be true. But then I could say, I don't know. I don't have an explanation. Now what? Seriously, what now? What's your rejoinder to that? What's your response to, I don't have an explanation for any of it. I don't know how any of it's true. No idea. Sure, I'll grant all of it. I don't know how that works. I don't know why that's true. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Because what are you going to say? Oh, well then, therefore, God. Nope. It's an appeal to ignorance. Well, it can't possibly be that you just don't know. It can't just possibly be that we don't know. Appeal to personal incredulity. No, I don't know. No idea. I don't have an explanation. That's why I don't believe in God. And I don't believe that I have the knowledge of these answers that you think that you have, that you don't actually have. I don't know why it would be that way. That's all I know for sure is I don't know. There's no other thing to put in there until I acquire more data on it. And I'm not the one actively trying to get that data. That's cosmologists and scientists in the fields that do that sort of stuff.
These truths.
No, they're not true.
I mean, Lawrence Krauss admits that there was a beginning to the universe. Now, he tried.
Not really. Actually, he doesn't. But, you know, I guess if you pretend that he does, he does. But yeah.
Tries to come up, as I say, with this argument that the universe came from nothing and by nothing without a cause.
And that proves to me you don't understand what Lawrence Krauss wrote in the Universe from Nothing book, where by nothing he doesn't mean the sort of nothing that you mean. He actually means quantum soup. So you didn't read Lawrence and you don't have a clue what the hell you're saying. Or you do, and you're lying to all of us. It's just like you're lying about looking over there where the guy supposedly is standing, which I think is not really there, or a plant. I'm not sure, to be honest. Why didn't they swing the camera around so we could see what's going on? I don't know. Just I have questions about this lecture that's supposedly being done in front of 5 whole people. Yeah, all right. Doesn't matter if he's dishonest. All that matters is he has a good argument or not. He doesn't have a good argument, so I'm going to complain about the fact that his audience is only made of 5 people. Okay, I'm sorry.
But his nothing is not nothing, as we've seen. It's
a split screen. How fancy. How about you pan over and show us how many people there are? Oh, yes, nothing isn't nothing. So you do understand what he means by that.
Actually something. So his argument doesn't work.
Yes, it does, actually, but you don't care because it negates your arguments, but whatever.
Ask Lawrence Krauss, well, what argument do you have for the universe existing?
What? He wrote it in his book, you moron. That's it in the book. It's the explanations in his book. If you'd read it, you would understand it. Oh, well, maybe you'd understand it. He explains it in his book. He's like, look, it's this quantum particle and the quantum fluctuations and stuff. Like the particles can come out of basically, as far as we can tell, nothing. There's just poof, there they are. You like put like these two metal plates really close together, and I don't know what the bleep you do with it beyond that, because that's all I remember. And then like you get these like little quantum particles popping into existence, and we don't know where they're coming from, and then they pop out of existence, and we don't know where they went, and we can't detect them before or after. So it looks to us like they're going in and out of nothingness. Now, we don't know that for sure, but you could posit that, and I might be getting it completely wrong, but I'm getting it slightly less wrong than this nitwit is. Anyways, all right, go back to the video. All right.
The fact that it's fine-tuned and the fact there are objective
moral
values out
There's
there.
not objective moral values.
Just have the burden
or you haven't actually proven that there are. So
to say that God is the cause.
Yes, you do.
I do. If I'm going to say God exists, have to give those arguments.
Well, that you have the proof to demonstrate that there is a God, which you haven't done. Arguments don't do that. Your arguments don't do that. None of those arguments do that.
But once those arguments are on the table, once these realities are on the table, then
those aren't realities. They're bad arguments.
He has, if he's going to be someone who's looking for the truth, he has just as much burden to explain how these things could exist in the absence of God.
They don't exist. So there's no burden to fulfill. You're pretending like these things are true when they're not. Interesting that you didn't answer the question that the video asks. Are you still waiting for, quote, absolute proof for God, end quote? Like, what does that question have to do with anything in the video? Or the answer to that question have anything to do with your video? Just perplexing of a name for your, what the bleep? What? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What's the meme? It turns math equations. What are you talking about? What meme are you talking about, Nitty? Math face meme. Math face meme. Oh, now I'm doing this. Oh yeah. That thing. Yeah. Yeah, this is that. Okay, I'll put that in chat, I guess. All right. Whatever. I don't know what you're talking about, guys. Okay, so that's it. Cross-examined, wasn't logical at all. And basically switched the burden of proof. But not just that. Because that's bad enough. What he did is say, prove these untrue things, demonstrate how these could still be true in the absence of God. These things that are not actually true. What? So, the fine-tuning, everyone gets this wrong. Everyone does. Let's see if ChatGPT knows. All right. No. Oh, God. It's talking about machine learning. No. Fine-tuning universe. Let's see. Come on, ChatGPT. PT. Let's see. Reverse the observations. Many of the fundamental constants and parameters of the universe appear to be finely tuned to allow for the existence of light as we know it. So the strength of the strong nuclear force, blah blah blah, is set to allow for the existence of stable elements like carbon, which is necessary for life. But I think see what this is doing. It's just rewinding back from what we already know. Like if the strong nuclear force was different, then things would be different. Here, debunk that of universe. Now I'm just typing out ChatGPT. Yeah, oh, there it goes. Here, I'll just present that. Not that this is an authority source. I know some people are using this as authority source. Okay, it's a philosophical and theological argument. Guess what? It's not scientific. Okay, that's it. That's all I needed to know. Blam, done. Goodbye. Anyways, so until you guys have something to offer us in the scientific realm, I'm going to still complain about your bad arguments, but you don't have evidence, which is the only thing that the atheist and skeptic, agnostic, whatever the hell our labels are, the non-believer wants. I'll put it a different way. If people came to your door and said, the God, blah, 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 is the real God, what things would you require for them to do to think that the God, blah, 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 was real? Or I'll just use my own God, the God lobster, or Lod, L-O-D, the God Lod in the lobsterist. Okay, so they show up at your door. They're dressed in lobster costumes. They got the lobsterist book. I'm there like, please don't listen to them. I didn't foresee this getting out of control. I'm sorry about this. They're following this religion. It's not meant to be a religion. Anyways, and they're like, shut up, guy. Why do you keep following us around? I don't know. Anyways, would it be a weird religion, wouldn't it? Anyways, okay. But they're like, okay, well, maybe I wouldn't be there. Probably not. All right, I got other things to do. All right, so they're like, all right, check it out. This thing is real. Why? Okay, first of all, you got objective moral values. Okay. And you got a finely tuned universe. All right. And, the fact that life exists at all, all right. And that means that our God did that. It does? Why? Well, because, see, our God is defined as the one that did those things. That doesn't prove that it is that thing, though. So you also haven't proven that your God is a thing. So what would they need to do? Say, hypothetically, you're a believer in whatever God, right? And they're like, okay, look, we want you to believe this God is real. What things would you require of them? Whatever your answer is that they would have to provide to you for you to be convinced that they're right and that you're wrong, is the same sort of thing that you should be looking for to offer the non-believer of your religion. Because not only are they a non-believer of your religion, they're a non-believer of all the other religions, which technically you already are. Because you only believe in your religion. You don't believe that those other religions are true. Do you? And maybe you don't even know that much about them, more than likely. So ask yourself the difficult question of, what would it take to convince me that this other deity, this other God, is real? The answer to that is what you should look for in your own religion. And if you can't find that, then you're going to have to ask, why can't I find that in my own religion? And maybe you're going to have to ask, why do I believe this if I can't find the thing that would convince me of their God in my own religion? Why am I convinced that this religion is right? If you're that honest and you still find yourself believing, well, I don't know, maybe it's just your brain is wired that way or something, who knows? But at least when you present your idea You will present it as faith, and you won't say that it's anything beyond a belief that you hold. And thus, you won't have the burden of proof, and you won't go around saying that you have proof of God when you don't, like these guys do. But these guys aren't interested in asking the difficult questions to themselves. These guys are interested in making some money. Which, hey, that's fine. I'm interested in making money too. But I'm not going to lie to you in order to get it. And I think that presentation, I don't know, I'm very suspicious of the camera angle and all that. Yeah, I'm making too much out of it. So, yeah, be skeptical. Do what this says. See this? Unless and until they have presented empirical evidence, repeatable test, or valid and sound logical argument, you have to be skeptical of their claim. Right. I wonder who you learned that from. Must be a genius that said that. Anyways, I took down my other video where I bit my arm because I lost 2 subs. I'm assuming it's because they couldn't stand the fact that I bit my arm. So that video's on private now. But I mentioned it, which might mean I lose more. Sleep, man. What am I doing to myself? All right, goodbye, everybody.